back to the show, everyone. Today, we're looking at Cane Corso safety and sort of like taking it to the next level.
Okay.
If you remember our deep dive on toxic foods,
Right.
this is kind of a part 2.
Okay.
But we're looking at houseplants
Gotcha.
that are dangerous to Cane Corsos.
Yeah, that makes sense because food's not the only thing.
Right. Exactly.
I didn't get into.
And I was reading that
Yeah.
apparently everyday houseplants can be just as dangerous
Oh, wow.
for your pup as some of those toxic foods.
I had no idea.
Yeah, so we're going to break down a whole list of 20
Okay.
toxic plants,
Well,
and we're really going to like get into the nitty-gritty of
Yeah.
why they're so harmful.
Cool.
So
Yeah, this will be good.
I think it'll be a good one.
Yeah.
So
That's true.
yeah.
And it's a surprisingly common issue.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
We've got a great podcast episode here called 20 More Houseplants Toxic to Your Cane Corsos, expanding your safety knowledge,
Oh.
along with some in-depth articles to help us navigate this,
Yeah.
this leafy minefield.
Ooh, I like that. Okay, so before we get into the how and why,
Yeah.
let's do a quick run through of these 20 plants.
Okay.
Are you ready for a rapid fire round?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, strap in. First up, some of the usual suspects.
Okay.
We've got the bird of paradise,
Mhm.
those dramatic ficus varieties like your weeping fig and fiddle leaf fig,
Yeah.
and of course, who could forget the ever-popular Swiss cheese plant?
Those are some real statement pieces, all right.
Right.
And while they might look stunning in your living room,
Yeah.
these beauties all share a common danger.
What's that?
They can cause some serious irritation in your Cane Corso's mouth and throat
Oh.
if they decide to take a nibble.
Oh, no.
We're talking drooling, difficulty swallowing, maybe even vomiting.
Oh, no. Poor pups. See, this is why I need you here. I would thought those were totally harmless.
Yeah, a lot of people think that they're fine,
Right.
but
Yeah.
they're not.
Okay, what else is on this hit list?
Next up, we have some familiar faces from the Dracaena family, the dragon tree, and the corn plant.
Okay.
These guys were a little trickier
Okay.
because on top of the usual irritation,
Yeah.
they can actually cause vomiting,
Yeah.
sometimes with blood.
Wait, blood.
Yeah.
That's intense. I'm starting to feel a little nervous about all the plants in my apartment now.
Yeah.
What else is lurking in the shadows?
Let's move on to a few that might surprise you.
Okay.
The rubber plant, for example.
Okay.
Not only can it cause those tummy troubles we talked about,
Great.
but its sap can also irritate your dog's skin.
Really?
Yeah.
So like,
Something to keep in mind if you've got a pup who likes to rub up against everything.
okay.
And then there's the umbrella plant.
Yeah.
Pretty
Right.
common, right?
Oh,
But it can cause those same oral irritation issues.
wow. I had no idea the umbrella plant was a problem.
Yeah, a lot of people don't.
So we've covered the showstoppers, the tricky Dracaenas, and even a sneaky skin irritant.
Yeah.
What else have we got?
All right, let's talk about some plants that might sound a little more exotic.
Okay.
First, we've got the arrowhead plant, then the croton.
Okay.
Those are both known for causing that same oral irritation.
Okay.
And then a group of palm-like plants that often find their way into our homes,
Mhm.
the parlor palm and the ponytail palm.
Okay.
These guys can cause vomiting and diarrhea if ingested.
Palm trees in the living room and a potential health hazard. Not cool. Palms, not cool.
Nope.
Anything else we need to watch out for?
We're on a roll, so let's keep going.
Okay.
Next up are the spider plant and the wandering Jew.
Okay.
Now, the spider plant is interesting
Okay.
because it's generally considered pretty safe for dogs,
Oh,
but it can cause some mild tummy upset in some cases.
okay.
So it's still worth mentioning.
Right.
The wandering Jew, on the other hand,
Yeah.
is more of a skin irritant than a tummy troublemaker.
Okay, so even the seemingly harmless ones can have a dark side.
It's true.
It really drives home the point that we need to be informed about all our houseplants.
Absolutely.
What's next on our list of 20?
Let's tackle a few more.
Okay.
The wax plant and the peperomia.
Mm-hmm.
These two tend to cause milder gastrointestinal issues,
Okay.
but still something to be mindful of.
Right.
And then we have a trio that can lead to, you guessed it,
What's that?
vomiting and diarrhea.
Okay.
The polka dot plant, the prayer plant, and the aluminum plant.
Okay, so a lot of these seem to have those same basic symptoms.
Yeah.
Is there a reason why so many of them cause digestive upset? It's not just a coincidence, right?
You're absolutely right to question that. There's definitely a pattern here,
Okay.
and it has to do with the types of toxins these plants contain.
What kind of toxins?
Many of them, believe it or not,
Okay.
have compounds that are very similar to the stuff we find in soap.
Wait, Soap? Like the stuff I wash my dishes with?
On a
So, like, if my dog eats a leaf, it's like I'm giving them a bubble bath on the inside.
Well, not exactly a bubble bath, but you're on the right track.
Okay.
Saponins are natural detergents
Okay.
that can really irritate the lining of your dog's digestive system.
Oh.
Think of it like dish soap, disrupting the delicate balance in their stomach and intestines.
Oh, okay.
That's why we see so much vomiting and diarrhea.
Oh, okay.
It's their body trying to get rid of the irritant.
Okay. That makes a lot more sense. So it's not just a random assortment of symptoms.
Nope.
There's scientific reason behind it.
Exactly.
This is already way more insightful than just knowing the names of the plants.
Right.
What about those other plants that didn't seem to fit that soap toxin mold?
Excellent question. Remember those sharp needle-like crystals we talk about in our deep dive on toxic foods?
Oh, yeah.
Some of these plants, like certain types of philodendron, contain those same nasty things.
Oh, no.
They're called calcium oxalate crystals,
Oh, okay.
and they can cause intense pain and burning in your dog's mouth and throat.
Ouch, those sound awful. So that's why some of these plants cause so much drooling.
Yeah.
It's like their body's trying to wash away the pain.
Exactly.
Are there any other types of toxins we should be aware of?
There are, and this is where it gets really interesting.
Ooh, okay.
Some plants, like those from the Dracaena family, remember, the dragon tree and the corn plant, can actually affect a dog's nervous system.
Whoa, the nervous system.
Yeah?
That seems way more serious than just an upset stomach.
Yeah, it can be.
What kinds of symptoms would we see with that?
Well, besides the vomiting, sometimes with blood that we already discussed,
Right.
you might notice changes in your dog's behavior.
Okay.
They can become lethargic, depressed,
Wow.
or even have trouble coordinating their movements.
Really?
Yeah, it can be pretty serious.
So it's not just like I ate a bad berry and I have a stomachache. It's like a whole system.
Yeah, it's important to remember that plant toxicity isn't always a simple cause and effect situation.
Right.
There can be multiple toxins at play.
Oh.
And these symptoms can vary depending on the plant,
Right.
the amount ingested,
Okay.
and even the individual dog's sensitivity.
This is seriously eye-opening. I thought I knew a decent amount about keeping my dog safe,
Yeah.
but this whole world of toxic houseplants is a whole new level of awareness.
Sure.
I'm already rethinking my entire plant collection.
Yeah, I think a lot of people will
Yeah.
be surprised by that.
Yeah.
It's great that you're already thinking about prevention.
Yeah. Well,
And that's what we're going to dig into next.
okay.
We'll talk about practical steps you can take to make your home a safe haven for your Cane Corso, even if you love having plants around.
Perfect. I'm all ears.
All right.
And I'm sure our listeners are too.
Great.
So we'll be right back after a short break. All right, so we're back.
Here we
And
are.
I'm ready to learn
Okay.
how to keep my dog safe
All right.
around all of these
Yeah.
toxic plants.
So we've covered a lot of ground already,
Right.
from those glamorous yet potentially harmful showstoppers to the sneaky soap toxin packing culprits. I'm convinced
Yeah.
that knowing is half the battle when it comes to protecting pups.
Absolutely, but what can we actually do to prevent them
Right.
from like munching on these forbidden greens?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Knowing is half the battle, and luckily, there are plenty of proactive steps
Okay.
that you can take to create a safe and stylish
Okay.
space for both you and your Cane Corso.
Okay, lay it on me. What's our game plan?
Well, the first and most obvious step is to simply remove any toxic plants
Okay.
from your home altogether.
Okay, so just get rid of them.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It can be hard to say goodbye to your leafy companions,
I know.
but your Cane Corso's safety
Yeah.
is paramount.
I agree.
Yeah.
But what about those of us, and myself included, who are absolutely plant obsessed?
Right.
Are we doomed to live in a boring, plant-free zone?
Not at all. There are a few clever strategies
Okay.
you could try.
Okay.
Think vertical. Hanging planters or shelves high up on the wall
Oh, okay.
can keep those tempting greens
Right.
out of your pup's reach.
Okay.
Or if you have a spare room
Mm.
or a sunny windowsill
Yeah.
they can't access,
Yeah.
you can create like a designated plant sanctuary.
I love that idea. Plant sanctuary is
Yeah.
a little spa getaway for my greenery.
Exactly.
But let's be real.
Yeah.
Some dogs are escape artists, champion counter surfers,
Right.
and just all around determined to
Yeah.
get into everything.
For sure.
What about those mischievous pups who are bound to find a way even with our best laid plans?
For those tenacious pups,
Yeah.
it's time to explore some pet-safe alternatives.
Okay.
There are so many gorgeous houseplants
Yeah.
that are completely non-toxic to dogs.
Okay.
You don't have to sacrifice style for safety.
Okay. You've got me intrigued. Give me some examples. What are some pet-friendly plants
Okay.
that will add like a touch of green to my home without posing a threat to my furry friend?
Well, you can never go wrong with a classic spider plant.
Oh, yeah.
They're easy to care for.
Okay.
They look beautiful,
Yeah.
cascading from a hanging planter.
Yeah.
And they're generally considered very safe for dogs.
Okay. And are those the ones that are good at purifying the air?
And did I mention they're great at purifying the air?
Multitasking plants. I like it. What else can we add to our pet safe plant collection?
If you're a fan of herbs, you're in luck.
Okay.
Basil, rosemary, thyme.
Oh, nice.
Not only do they smell amazing, but they're also safe for your pup to sniff around.
Yeah.
Just make sure they don't turn into a salad bar for your furry friend.
Right. Even with safe plants, it's all about setting boundaries.
Yes.
Which brings me to another important question. How can we use training to reinforce those boundaries and keep our pups from turning into plant-munching machines?
Training is absolutely key.
Yeah.
A rock-solid leave-it command is your best friend in this situation.
Oh, okay.
With consistent practice, you can teach your Cane Corso to back away from anything you deem off limits.
Yeah.
Whether it's a plant, a shoe, or that delicious-looking slice of pizza
Right, okay.
on the counter.
I'll leave it. Command that strong. Sign me up.
Oh.
What other training tips can we use to create a culture of like respect and good decision-making, even when we're not around to supervise every sniff and nibble?
Impulse control exercises are fantastic for
Yeah.
this. Teaching your Cane Corso to wait for permission
Oh, okay.
before approaching anything new can help prevent those spur-of-the-moment decisions to taste test a plant.
Right.
It's all about building that self-control and creating a respectful dynamic
Yeah,
between you and your pup.
I love that. It's not just about saying no all the time.
Right.
It's about teaching them to make good choices.
Exactly.
And mindful of their environment.
Yeah.
It's a win-win for everyone involved.
Exactly. It's about setting them up for success and creating a harmonious home
Yeah.
where both you and your furry friend can thrive.
And let's not forget the importance of enrichment.
Yes.
A bored dog is more likely to get into trouble.
Right.
So make sure your Cane Corso has plenty of outlets for their energy and curiosity.
Exactly. Walks, playtime, puzzle toys.
Yeah.
A tired dog is a well-behaved dog.
That's such a crucial point. But even with all these precautions in place, accidents can happen.
For sure.
What should we do if our dog does manage to take a bite out of a toxic plant?
That's when it's time to act fast.
Okay.
First things first.
Yeah.
Try to identify the plant.
Okay.
Knowing what your dog ingested is essential information for your vet.
Okay.
And speaking of vets, get in touch with them immediately.
Okay.
They'll advise you on the best course of action,
Okay.
which might involve inducing vomiting,
Okay.
administering activated charcoal, or providing supportive care,
Okay.
depending on the plant
Right.
and the amount ingested.
Okay.
Remember, when it comes to potential poisoning, time is of the essence.
Okay, so identify the plant,
Right.
call the vet,
Yep.
and don't try to play doctor at home.
Exactly.
Got it.
Yeah.
Any other, like, emergency tips we should keep in mind?
It's always a good idea to have the ASPCA Animal Poison Control Center's number
Okay.
saved in your phone. They're available 24/7 and can provide expert guidance
Oh.
in these situations.
Gotcha. And remember,
prevention is always the best medicine.
this is all such invaluable advice. I'm feeling much more confident
Good.
about creating a safe and stimulating space for my Cane Corso.
Awesome.
But before we wrap things up, there's one more question that's been on my mind. We've focused specifically on Cane Corsos in this deep dive.
Yeah.
But is this information?
That's an excellent question. It's
Yeah.
a really important one to consider.
Okay.
While we've been talking about Cane Corso specifically,
Yeah.
many of the plants we've discussed can also be toxic to other animals, including cats, other dog breeds, and even humans,
Wow.
particularly young children.
So the knowledge we've gained today extends far beyond just one breed. It's about creating a safe haven for everyone who shares our homes.
Exactly. The principles of prevention, training, and awareness apply to all pet owners and parents.
That's a powerful thought. This deep dive has been incredibly eye-opening.
Good.
And I'm sure our listeners are feeling much more prepared to create a safe haven for their furry friends and their families.
And remember, knowledge is power. By staying informed and taking proactive steps, we can ensure our furry companions live long, healthy, and happy lives.
Absolutely. We've gone from identifying those sneaky toxic plants to understanding the why behind their dangers, and now we've got a whole arsenal of strategies to keep our furry friends safe.
Yeah.
Talk about a power-up for responsible pet parents.
It's been quite a journey. And I have to say, your enthusiasm is contagious. It's wonderful to see how passionate you are about creating a safe and enriching environment for your Cane Corso.
Well, I'm learning so much from you. I feel like I'm finally seeing my houseplants and my dog's behavior with a whole new level of awareness, and I have to say it's pretty empowering.
That's what it's all about, empowering ourselves with knowledge so we can make informed decisions and advocate for our furry companions. Remember, even the most well-behaved dog can be tempted by a curious leaf or a colorful flower. It's our job to set them up for success and minimize those risks.
Couldn't have said it better myself. So before we wrap up this deep dive into the world of toxic houseplants, what's one final takeaway you want to leave our listeners with?
I think the most important thing to remember is that responsible pet ownership is an ongoing journey of learning and discovery. There's always something new to learn, a new challenge to navigate, and a new way to strengthen the bond with our furry friends.
I love that. It's not about being perfect. It's about being curious, staying informed, and constantly striving to provide the best possible care for our companions.
Exactly. And remember, you don't have to do it alone. There's so many resources available to support you on this journey. Your veterinarian online communities, even fellow pet parents in your neighborhood. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Share your experiences and learn from each other. We're all in this together.
Beautifully said. And on that note, I want to thank you, our amazing expert, for sharing your wisdom and insights with us today. I know I've learned a ton, and I'm sure our listeners have too.
It's been my pleasure. And remember, every little bit of knowledge helps. By staying informed and taking proactive steps, we can ensure our furry companions live long, healthy, and happy lives.
And that's what it's all about. So to all our listeners out there, keep those tails wagging, those plants out of reach, and those curious minds engaged until next time. Stay curious, stay informed, and keep diving deep into the world of knowledge. So we've learned about the plants and how to keep our pups safe. I feel like I'm ready to go home and completely rearrange all my plants.
Yeah. You and everyone listening, I think.
But before we wrap up, is there anything else that we missed?
Let me think. Like any other advice?
Yeah, I think the most important thing to remember is that responsible pet ownership is an ongoing journey of learning and discovery. There's always something new to learn, a new challenge to navigate, and a new way to strengthen the bond with our furry friends.
I love that.
Yeah.
So it's not about being perfect. It's just about being, well-informed.
Exactly.
Doing the best you can.
Exactly. And remember, you don't have to do it alone. There are so many resources available to support you on this journey. Your veterinarian online communities, even fellow pet parents in your neighborhood. Don't be afraid to ask questions, share your experiences, and learn from each other. We're all in this together.
I love that. And, we've talked about all kinds of resources throughout the show.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for links to, like, the ASPCA Animal Poison Control Center or anything else,
make sure to check out our show notes.
Yeah, they'll be linked in the description.
Well, I think that about wraps it up for today.
Yeah, that was a great deep dive.
I think so, too. I learned a lot.
Good. I'm glad.
I'm sure everyone listening did as well.
Absolutely.
So to all our listeners out there, keep those tails wagging those plants out of reach and those curious minds engaged until next time. Stay curious, stay informed, and keep diving deep into the world of knowledge.